There we go. So this is question 2 from the homework problems, and it's about this crazy truck that's just driving everywhere. So it has an initial velocity and it has a final velocity, and we're going to break this into components. We're going to break it into x and y components. Then we're going to subtract those components by adding the negatives. Then we're going to put all those components back together and reassemble the triangle and find the acceleration. Okay, so here we have the initial velocity, and it is west 60 degrees north. So here's our triangle, approximately made. So this is 60, and it is going 50 kilometers per hour. And what we're going to do is break it into the 2 velocity components. So the initial velocity in the x direction is so we're just going to do the 50 times cosine of 60. In other words, 0.8664 times 50. So 43 kilometers per hour.
Oh, no, that's wrong.
In the x direction, and that's wrong.
No, that one was 25. The other one was 43.
Okay, so this is 25 x, and EIY is 43. Okay, so EIX 25, and that is to the west. Okay, so this is our x and y components. And we are actually going to be turning these negative or saying they're in the east. One of those 2 things. But let's find out what this crazy truck driver is doing in the last part. So now he's going 80 kilometers an hour east, 60 degrees to the north. There we go. And so this is 80, and this is 60 degrees. And so I happen to know that this is 40. So VIX is 40. And VI, this is VF. VFY is 0.8664 times 80, which is
That one?
yep,
69.
69. And this one is north as well. Okay, so we now have our 2 sets of components for VFX. I'm leaving out my units because I'm just really bad that way. That gets really super busy. Okay. Good. Now we are ready to do our subtraction of the components. Now I turned these negative, right? That's what I did. I've already turned them negative, and I didn't write my negatives there, so that's a bad thing. Okay, so basically what we have to do now is just add these together. So I'm going to turn this from negative 25 west to positive 25 east. I'm going to turn this from negative 43 north to positive 43 north. Oops, that's still negative though. So now I'm just going to add my x components. So delta Vx is 65. Delta Vy is 102. And then we're going to add our triangles. We're going to reassemble the triangle so that we can figure out what it looks like. So this is 65 east. Shouldn't it be 112? Complaining about my math. 112. There we go. Where were you just a little while ago? I really hope this is working out.
I think it did. Because it's not what I did.
Being different doesn't make it right. Okay, so there are two. There are the components of our delta V vector. Okay, it's 65 and 112, and we're going to put it together here. This is a pretty tremendous acceleration. I wonder if I did something wrong. Oh, maybe not.
No, I think you're doing it right.
Okay. All right. So this is just the square root of 65 squared plus 112 squared. And theta is just going to be the arctan of 112 over 65.
Oh, was I supposed to do something?
So anyways, using my calculator.
The hypotenuse is 129.
129.
129.4951.
Okay. That is like, yes, we're getting an enormous acceleration here.
I don't think,
It seems like it's coming out wrong.
the angle is 60, and that's the number that I've been getting the whole time. So maybe it's just that part that I'm messing up.
Okay, so is this actually 60?
Maybe I'm doing it wrong. I do
No, it's
112 divided by
65 arctan. And if you're getting 60, then it's 60.
Yeah, it's 60.
Okay. Okay, so that's 60 degrees. Okay. This is going to be a huge number. What's the answer?
Wait, what am I doing now?
Because we want this in kilometers per hour. This acceleration in kilometers per hour. Oh, it's kilometers per hour, so that's not that bad. Okay. So delta T is 0.25 hours. And so we'll do the acceleration over here. Is 129.4. Well, let's round it right now. Let's just do this. And so 130 kilometers an hour in 1/4 of an hour. And so the acceleration is 520 kilometers per hour. And that is 60 degrees. And I wonder what what's the textbook say the answer is?
What does my son say? All it's going to make is what I pass me.
Do you post the answers?
The answers are all there, yeah.
It's supposed to be 2.8 times 10 to the power of 2, and it's east 21.8 degrees north. So we're just a little off.
We're like totally off.
What if you divided it by 2?
Why would you divide it by 2?
You would have to find a reason.
All right. Well, We better shut down this broadcast, because this is just embarrassing. Does that make sense, though, as far as the procedure goes?